अस्सलामुअलैकुम एंड वेलकम टू अनदर वीडियो। इस चैनल पे हम कई कम्युनिटीज़ को डिस्कस करते हैं। आज दुबई की एक वो कम्युनिटी को डिस्कस करने के लिए जा रहे हैं जहाँ पर मोर देन 50,000 ट्रीज़ जो हैं वो इंस्टॉल किए जा रहे हैं, जिसकी कैटेगरी जो है वो 17 कैटेगरीज़ हैं ट्रीज़ की। और ये वन ऑफ द फॉरेस्ट कम्युनिटी दुबई में बनने के लिए जा रही है। बट मेरे इस वीडियो में मेरे साथ मेरे ऑफिस मेट वन ऑफ द एक्सपीरियंस पर्सन मोहम्मद अली मेरे साथ होंगे। हम इस वीडियो में थोड़ा से इस कम्युनिटी को डिस्कस करते हैं। कहीं भी कम्युनिटी में चले जाएं, किसी भी डेवलपमेंट की तरफ चले जाएं, उसका डेवलपर बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट होता है और मैं उसी के ऊपर बिलीव करता हूं, क्योंकि दुबई में हर प्रॉपर्टी आपको एप्रिसिएशन दे दे या लाइफ स्टाइल दे दे वो ज़रूरी नहीं है। लेकिन कुछ ऐसी प्रीमियम प्रॉपर्टीज़ या लोकेशंस होती हैं कि जिसको दिलवाने से हमें पता होता है कि हमारा क्लाइंट एप्रिसिएशन भी उठाएगा और रहने वाला वहाँ से लाइफ स्टाइल भी उठाएगा। जिस जगह पे हम मौजूद हैं ये जगह लोकेटेड है E311 पे शेख मोहम्मद बिन जायद रोड के पर, और ये पूरी एक कम्युनिटी बनने के लिए जा रही है जिसका पूरा लैंड है 8 मिलियन स्क्वायर फीट। इसमें क्या क्या कुछ आ रहा है ये हम अली भाई से थोड़ा सा डिस्कस भी करेंगे। और आपका कोई भी क्वेश्चन होगा हम इस कमेंट पे आपका कमेंट देखेंगे और उसके बाद जाके हम एक और वीडियो भी इसको कवर करने की कोशिश करेंगे। सर थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर योर टाइम, और आपका एक्सपीरियंस भी इस कम्युनिटी के अंदर है। अंदर जाके थोड़ा सा डिस्कस करते हैं, लेकिन पहले थोड़ा सा डेवलपर को डिस्कस कर लेते हैं। माजिद अल फुतैम बहुत बड़ा नाम है ऑब्वियसली, थोड़ा सा आप बताएं माजिद अल फुतैम।
You know, Majid Al Futtaim is known to be the largest and the most richest families in the UAE. You know, they are one of those companies that are building all of the retails that you see, like Mall of the Emirates, all of the city center Deira, city center Mirdif. This is not one of the first communities. They had done Tilal Ghaf before this, where people have more than double or triple their money. And you know, the trust that this developer has, most of the developers do not have. Because when you look at the source of their funds, and they already are an established name in the market.
Basically they are a group of companies. Vox Cinema इनका है, कारफोर इनका है ऑब्वियसली, टोयोटा के शायद वो सेल्स
अल फुतैम मोटर्स,
अल फुतैम मोटर्स, BYD बहुत बड़ा जो कार का ब्रांड है वो इनके साथ कोलैबोरेट कर रहे हैं। तो ऑब्वियसली बहुत बड़ा बिजनेस है और मेरे ख्याल में शायद एक इमाराती की एक बहुत बिजनेस बहुत बड़ी फैमिली है, राइट? जी, वन ऑफ द रिचेस्ट फैमिली इन द UAE।
अल फुतैम the most richest business family in the UAE,
राइट? ओके, इससे पहले जो तिलाल अल गाफ है ऑब्वियसली हमने उसके ऊपर भी डिस्कस किया है। बहुत प्यारी कम्युनिटी इन्होंने बनाई, एक लिविंग दिया है, और पर्टिकुलरली इनका डेवलपमेंट का तो काम नहीं है, लेकिन जो भी प्रॉपर्टी आती है, इससे पहले भी कम्युनिटी जब लास्ट ईयर लॉन्च हुई थी, जब पहला फेज़ लॉन्च हुआ था, हमने देखा था बहुत ज़्यादा डिमांड थी और यूनिट लेने के लिए लाइन में लगना पड़ रहा था। उसमें भी बहुत सारे लोग डिसअपॉइंट हुए थे, उनको यूनिट नहीं मिला था। बट अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह हमारी जो कंपनी की क्रेडिबिलिटी है, जो हमारा क्लाइंट का एक पोर्टफोलियो है, हम उसमें पीछे नहीं देखते और क्लाइंट के लिए फाइट करके यूनिट उठाते हैं। जैसे आपने भी एक अच्छा यूनिट लिया इसमें। अली, इसमें हम कम्युनिटी को डिस्कस करते हैं अंदर, ऐसी क्या खास बात इस कम्युनिटी की, फिर हम अंदर जाते हैं।
द थिंग अबाउट दिस कम्युनिटी, ऐसी कम्युनिटी है नहीं अभी दुबई में, फ्रैंकली स्पीकिंग। जिस तरीके की आपको यहाँ पे फॉरेस्ट लिविंग मिल रही है, टेम्परेचर 5 सेल्सियस कम हो रहा है, उसके बाद जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इस कम्युनिटी के पास आ रहा है, यहाँ पे लतीफ़ा में हमदान स्ट्रीट आपने सुना भी होगा, जो गवर्नमेंट बना रही है, एकर्स और वाइल्ड, और ये सारी कम्युनिटी बेनिफिट हो रही है। तो विद इन 10 मिनट्स आप दुबई हिल्स में पहुंच रहे हो, विद इन 15 मिनट्स मैदान आदल शिबा, तो अभी कनेक्टिविटी बहुत अच्छी हो जाती है।
व्हाट अबाउट द कनेक्टिविटी फॉर द फ्यूचर?
ये फ्यूचर में ये जो रोड्स हैं, ये कनेक्टिविटी आपको एक तो मिल जाएगी, साथ में विद इन दिस कम्युनिटी एक मेट्रो स्टेशन भी आएगा, जो ब्लू लाइन मेट्रो आपने सुना होगा, बाय 2029 वो भी कंप्लीट हो जाएगा। और द थिंग इज इन दुबई यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड, आपने देखोगे बहुत प्रोजेक्ट्स बिल्कुल आउटस्कर्ट्स और बहुत दूर बनाते हैं, फिर भी वो डबल ट्रिपल होते हैं वैल्यू में, बिकॉज द थिंग ऑफ द काइंड ऑफ फैमिलीज, द काइंड ऑफ रेजिडेंट्स वी हैव ओवर हियर, they really care about the community lifestyle, which is a very important factor. Or this location is not really an outskirt, आप ग्लोबल विलेज के साथ हो, विच इज़ द मोस्ट विजिटेड लोकेशन इन ऑल ऑफ दुबई। साथ में यू हैव IMG वर्ल्ड, वन ऑफ द वर्ल्ड्स लार्जेस्ट इंडोर पार्क,
और जस्ट बिहाइंड इट इज जेम्स स्कूल एज वेल, एंड देयर आर मेनी कम्युनिटीज ओवर हियर, अरेबियन रेंचेस, शोभा की कम्युनिटी है जी, और दूसरी भी कम्युनिटीज ओवर दी आप।
थोड़ा फर्दर डाउन यू गॉट वैली बाय ईमार, सेम विसिनिटी एथलॉन बाय अल्दार, वाइल्ड्स बाय अल्दार। तो ये जो पूरा पैच है, दिस इज अ वेरी प्रीमियम पैच। देयर आर विलास बीइंग सोल्ड फॉर 40-50 मिलियन दिरहम्स, सो यू आर ऑलरेडी इन अ वेरी प्रीमियम लोकेशन। एंड द थिंग अबाउट द स्कूल्स एंड दिस, इतने अपार्टमेंट्स जो हमारे मार्केट में आ रहे हैं, एवरी अदर वीक कोई नया लॉन्च हो रहा होता है, तो यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड कि आपका प्रोडक्ट, आपके जो अपार्टमेंट है, डिस्टिंग्विश कैसे होगा। तो आप कम्युनिटी में इन्वेस्ट करो। मास्टर कम्युनिटी क्यों इंपॉर्टेंट है? उसके अंदर आपका स्कूल, आपका रिटेल, आपका हॉस्पिटल, एवरीथिंग इज विद इन इट। तो एक्सेप्ट फॉर वर्क यू डोंट हैव टू गेट आउट द कम्युनिटी। तो ऐसी इन्वेस्टमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटीज बहुत कम है यहाँ पे।
ऑलराइट, हम जाते हैं मॉडल के ऊपर डिस्कस करते हैं और आपको बताते हैं कि कम्युनिटी इटसेल्फ क्यों इतनी ज़्यादा यूनिक है। चलें अंदर?
जी
चलें। तो डालने पड़ेंगे।
अगर आप बोलते तो एक और मेरे पास जैसे इंटरनेशनल क्लाइंट भी था जिसको यहाँ पे लेना था, उसका भी मैं डिस्क्राइब क्लाइंट ने भी ऐसी कोई कम्युनिटी देखी नहीं थी पहले। आधे साल एंट्रेंस का है, कलेक्टिव में 950 का लिया था, 1.75 का बेचा था। तो उसने कहा भाई हाँ सही, यस
हाँ, ओके, लेट्स डिस्कस अबाउट द लॉन्चिंग। क्या हमारे पास अवेलेबिलिटी है, क्या लॉन्च हो चुका है, ये भी हम इन्हीं से पूछते हैं।
जी। तो फर्स्ट थिंग्स फर्स्ट, जो सारी आप बिल्डिंग्स देख रहे हो, ऐसा नहीं कि डेवलपर एक टाइम पे सब कुछ मार्केट में अपलोड कर देता है। यू नो, द अर्लियर यू आर देयर इज अ गुड चांस यू गोना मेक मोर मनी। 1.2 फिर 1.4 1.6 दे इंक्रीज द प्राइसेस, एंड एज यू कैन सी देयर इज स्टिल इंटरनल अप्रिसिएशन, जो हम लोग बोलते हैं कम्युनिटी में आप किस फेज में एंटर करो, देयर इज स्टिल अ ह्यूज पार्ट ऑफ द कम्युनिटी येट टू बी लॉन्च्ड। तो अभी जो लास्ट हमारे पास लॉन्च आए थे, इट वाज ऑफ कैप्रिया एंड इट वाज ऑफ डिस्ट्रिक्ट।
इनके बड़े मॉडल भी हैं, वहाँ पर भी जाते हैं।
जी, हम बड़े बड़े मॉडल उस पर भी जाते हैं। तो फर्स्ट थिंग, यू नो, वन इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग दैट यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड कि कम्युनिटी की अमेनिटीज़ कहाँ पर है। Amenities again accessible by every single resident of the community, but the most accessible are by the Capria clusters. Reason being कि बीच में आपके पास wellness centers हैं, ज़्यादा resort style living है, pedestrian forest walk है, तो वो सारी amenities काफ़ी सारी हमारे पास बीच में है। इस वजह से कैप्रिया काफ़ी हाई डिमांड में थे और बिल्कुल मिनिमम यूनिट्स हमारे पास रहेगी, मोस्टली पोडियम फ्लोर्स के। एंड द लॉन्च आफ्टर दैट वी हैड वाज डिस्ट्रिक्ट। डिस्ट्रिक्ट, द बेनिफिट विद डिस्ट्रिक्ट इन पर्टिकुलर, यू नो, यू आर राइट नेक्स्ट टू ग्लोबल विलेज, वहाँ पे भी आपके पास शॉर्ट टर्म रेंटल्स की काफ़ी डिमांड होगी, और देयर इज ओनली रिटेल ओवर हियर इन ऑल ऑफ गाफ वुड्स, और कोई रिटेल आपके पास है नहीं, तो देयर विल बी अ लॉट ऑफ फुटफॉल फॉर दीज, और शॉर्ट टर्म रेंटल्स में भी अच्छा होगा। बट टू अट्रैक्ट दोज फैमिलीज एंड दोज residents which are the perfect ones for this, I believe Capria there is a potential. Again, both will appreciate, it's just which can be better. And this is also slightly more expensive because sizes थोड़े ज़्यादा थे Capria के अंदर। You know, we had Sierra and Celia before this. वहाँ पे prices 1-2 लाख 3 लाख थोड़े कम थे।
But which is already sold out, right?
Yeah, already sold out. तो ये भी है कि जिनने early entry किया उनको थोड़ा सा premium मिला, but in terms of price per square foot it was not that big of a difference क्योंकि sizes भी बहुत छोटे थे। And you want to target those big sizes क्योंकि family living इसमें बहुत है, and family do care a lot about the kind of layout, the kind of finishes and the sizes you're going to get.
जिस क्लाइंट ने प्रॉपर्टी ली है जो आपने बताया था, पूछ सकता हूँ नेशनलिटी क्या है, उसका रीज़न क्या था बाय करने का?
जी, one of my clients which I sold over here was from the US.
From the US.
Yeah, they were looking for a good investment opportunity. You know, that is different from the market. You know, everybody is tired of hearing so many launches coming to the market, and they want to know that what is something different with so much supply. Although the base population is growing quite fast, you know, more than I would say any other city around the world, but still there is a huge lack of quality residences. You know, from quality developers, renowned developers, community lifestyle. तो जब उन्हें देखा कि यहाँ पे इस प्राइस में मिला जो रेडी से बेहतर है, जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, जो रोड्स, मेट्रो कनेक्टिविटी जो आपके पास आ रही, विच यू डोंट रियली हैव द एक्सेस टू इन एनी अदर मास्टर कम्युनिटीज लाइक दिस, तो उस वजह से दे वर श्योर ऑफ दिस इन्वेस्टमेंट।
ओके।
एंड वन थिंग इज रियली इंपॉर्टेंट कि जब आप यू नो आप ईमार में या माजिद अल फुतैम में आप इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो, वो खुद बिलियंस इन्वेस्ट करते हैं टू मेक दिस कम्युनिटीज। फॉर अ डेवलपर टू बिल्ड वन बिल्डिंग दे कैन विद अ कपल मिलियंस, बट टू बिल्ड अ होल कम्युनिटी इट टेक्स अ लॉट ऑफ मास्टर प्लानिंग। दे रियली हैव टू लुक इनटू इट कि इट विल सेल इन द मार्केट, देयर इन्वेस्टर्स विल मेक प्रॉफिट। यू नो, हमने दुबई हिल्स में देखा है लोगों ने जो अर्ली बायर्स थे उन्होंने 60, 80, इवन 100% एप्रिसिएशन कमाए सिर्फ अपार्टमेंट्स में, जो लास्ट 3-4 सालों में काफ़ी ज़्यादा जगहों पे नहीं हुआ है, बिकॉज ऑफ द कम्युनिटी। क्योंकि आपको पता है डेवलपर एंड ऑफ दिस डेवलपर में आप ऐसा बनाओगे जिस तरह की क्वालिटी और जिस तरह, बिकॉज दे केयर फॉर यू, दे केयर फॉर द इन्वेस्टर, दे हैव अ लॉन्ग टर्म विजन फॉर द कम्युनिटी एंड द लैंडस्केप ऑफ दुबई।
मॉडल पे चलते हैं, थोड़ा सा वहाँ पे डिस्कस करते हैं। अच्छा, आपने एक और बात बोली कि जो अभी ये कैप्रिया का फेज़ तो हो गया, शायद इसमें कुछ यूनिट की अवेलेबिलिटी है, लेआउट्स के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है, बट अब जो क्लस्टर आने वाला होगा, जो एक नया क्लस्टर आएगा, उसमें भी अपॉर्चुनिटी तो खरी भी होंगी हमारे पास, राइट?
ऑफ कोर्स, या।
हाँ, आपने कहाँ बेचा था? शायद यहाँ पर आपने कोई
So one of I've sold a couple units. So one of the units that I've sold in this particular development is one of the last units, you know, which I'm one of the most proud of, is over here.
Okay.
Right over here.
ये तो very near to entry exit, right?
Yeah. So the thing benefit about this is that is the one of the only entrance in the community. वहाँ पे आपका retail हो गया, so retail is accessible. यहाँ पे आपका school हो गया. So it is a very accessible building within the whole community. और साथ में the views that you get over here, full water view, and then full forest view, extending to full forest. And for a one bedroom, you don't really get that. One bedroom के views थोड़े से back facing होंगे, थोड़े से boulevard होंगे या minimum landscape मिलेगा. And this was, I believe, one of the best value for money you could get in all of Capria.
अच्छा, एक बात मैं ऐड करता हूँ. देखें, जो ये यूनिट इसने दिला ना, ये वन ऑफ द प्रीमियम यूनिट इन द कम्युनिटी, इन द बिल्डिंग एज वेल, राइट? बट हमारे पास क्या एक एडवांटेज मिलता है अच्छी कंपनी से काम करने का कि आपको अच्छे यूनिट्स मिल जाते हैं, नंबर 1. नंबर 2 ये होता है कि जब आप किसी भी रियल एस्टेट कंपनी के कंसल्टेंट से काम करते हैं तो वो अच्छा यूनिट आपको निकाल के देता है, क्योंकि मैं समझता हूँ हर जगह आपको प्रीमियम मिलता है, लेकिन समटाइम कुछ अपार्टमेंट रेंट में थोड़ा सा टाइम लगता है या रीसेल में थोड़ा सा टाइम लगता है. बट हम अपने क्लाइंट्स को चुन के वो प्रॉपर्टी दिलवाते हैं कि ना जिसमें आपको रीसेल का प्रॉब्लम होता है, ना जिसमें आपको रेंटल की रिटर्न्स के इश्यूज होता है. अच्छा, ये तो शायद ईस्ट है, ये वेस्ट है, राइट? कैप्रिया ईस्ट और वेस्ट. ओके, ये भी लॉन्च हो गया ऑब्वियसली.
हाँ, दोनों आप देख सकते हो. एट द लॉन्च आई वुड से एट दैट टाइम ओनली 85-90% चीज़ें पहले उस टाइम पे सोल्ड आउट हो गई थी, रिगार्डलेस ऑफ बीइंग सो मेनी बिल्डिंग्स. उन्होंने पहले प्लान करा था सिर्फ कैप्रिया वेस्ट का उस दिन में लॉन्च करने का, बट बिकॉज ऑफ द डिमांड दे लॉन्च कैप्रिया ईस्ट ऑल्सो दैट डे अलोन. और आप देख सकते हो दे कुड हैव बिल्ट मोर फ्लोर्स, दे कुड हैव बिल्ट 15-20 फ्लोर्स, बट वो भी चाहते कि आपकी कम्युनिटी में एक्सक्लूसिविटी हो, प्रीमियम हो, लेसर नंबर ऑफ यूनिट्स हो, तो आपकी रेंटल्स और रीसेल वैल्यू भी ज़्यादा रहेगी.
थोड़ा डिस्ट्रिक्ट को भी देख ले, डिस्ट्रिक्ट के मॉडल को.
डिस्ट्रिक्ट को
चले वहाँ पर भी चलते आइए.
You know, keynote, all of my old videos are actually done in English, and we had a good amount of this video done with my friend ABJ. You could go to his channel also. He's got some good, really informative videos over there. And as I've done most of my videos in English, your Urdu or Hindi is not your primary language, and you still like to understand the project, you can contact me now and I can provide you with a private briefing and explain to you each and everything about the community in English. Now, as we get more towards the end of the video, we're going to focus on the investment analysis, on the numbers part. But one key thing to understand is I've had a lot of people invest in this community with me, not because of the numbers, but exactly because of how the community lifestyle is. Your temperature is going to be 5 Celsius less, and the kind of forest lifestyle you get in this, don't get it elsewhere. So you have a good amount of end users also in this community, which is a good thing, because then a lot of the units are not going to come to the resale market, which means lesser supply, tighter supply, and still the high demand that there is for such master communities means even more price hikes in this. Now let's take a look at the community first, just so you have a brief idea of the community and where exactly we were standing. So we were standing right exactly here. This is the, you could say like the Ghaf Woods experience or sales center, where you kind of get an idea of the community when you're coming into the community. Right around here, they've created some trees just to give you a glimpse of the kind of lifestyle that you're going to have in this. And the last launch we had was of District, and before that we had Capria West and Capria East launch on the same day. Most already sold out the same day. We do have some units available. We've got some podium units and maybe a unit here and there coming in cancellation. You know, this is a highly in demand community. People in Dubai are very smart with the money, and they understand these opportunities. Now, the thing with Capria West and Capria East is these are directly on the internal forest. So all of this is your central forest that's going in the middle. So you've got good pedestrian, you've got everything within the forest lifestyle. You're buying this community because of the lifestyle, and you have the best access from these clusters. Plus there's going to be a wellness pavilion, like wellness centers, spas, etc. also in the middle. So you're going to have good access to them from Capria cluster. Now I see that District also has got some good potential. Reason being, you've got all of the retail right around here. These are all of your retail, shopping, dining and everything. You're going to have good retail, high quality retail over here, as done by Majid Al Futtaim. We've probably seen at Mall of the Emirates, Vox Cinemas, all of the city center, Dera, Mirdif. So you know the retail is always the best that you can find in Dubai. And you're going to have District. So the key selling point is going to be this retail you have over there. This is the entrance of the community from both of the main roads. That's your Nayan Street and that's your Mohammed bin Zayed Road. You've got your IMG World towards this side, and you've got your Global Village on this side. You know, very nice destination. If you lived in Dubai, if you do not know that, this is your largest indoor park over here in the world. I mean, I believe there's a new one coming in Abu Dhabi by Warner Bros. That's going to be larger than this, but currently this is the one. And then you've got Global Village right over there, a highly visited location. So you're going to have good short-term rentals in this specific building because of the kind of footfall you want to have, and it's close by to the entrance of the community. And when we talk about what exactly has been launched till now, so Sierra and Celia was launched before this. We also had La Sina, which were 3 tall buildings over there. Again, you have more of a tighter supply. You only have between 7 to 9 floors. This is going as much as 20 floors. And you're going to have all of these buildings yet to launch. But the benefit with the community in a master developer like this is right now you've got quite some buildings yet to be launched. And usually with each building, you have a price increase in place. And Capri, I really like Capri because the sizes are also much larger. One beds are going as much as 900 square foot. And this community is for your family. It's a premium community, and those sizes, differences, and layouts do matter. So these are your 4 buildings in district. They're launching it from this end side, going up till over there. And as you can see, you've got your whole shopping and dining space right over here, and you've got proper building amenities. In other buildings in Ghaf Woods, you don't really have direct building amenities because it's like a full cluster. So they've got resort style swimming pools and everything for the specific cluster of building. So you do have more amenities on the podium level, but again, as discussed on the master plan, there's pros and cons to both of them. It can be of your preference also, what do you prefer. And these are all of the amenities that you have, and you can take a look at this. So when you're understanding an investment, understanding the location is key. We have explained at the site how the location is, but let me show it to you guys on the map. But the thing about Dubai in particular is, regardless of how far a community can be, people do pay the premium. The community does appreciate if you have the lifestyle and people move out for it, because there is a lack of quality residences, quality lifestyle amenities in Dubai. Now, when we look at the exact location of Ghaf Woods, this is where it is located. This is exactly where the plot of Ghaf Woods is located. So they're building from, this is your Al Nahyan Street going over here, connecting you throughout the premium patch of communities, going all the way towards your south, which is the important location also. You've got your Expo City over here, where the trade center is moving next year, and it's going to be the largest exhibition center in all of Middle East and North Africa by 2030. So you've got great connectivity throughout, and this is your Alain Road. This takes you to Alain Road directly towards Business Bay downtown. This is exactly where your Burj Khalifa Dubai Mall is, the location loved by tourists and the people coming from all around the world. And you've got your DIFC over there, which is the financial zone of Dubai. You've got your larger financial institutions and those corporate workers. Now, if we speak about this specific location, I was talking about the new road. This is how the new road is going to look like. It's called Latifa bin Hamdan Street. This is your Dubai Hills right over here. So this is how the connectivity is going to be. You're going to have direct access to Dubai Hills from Ghaf Woods. Also, you take this road, all the way from this road, you go to Dubai Hills within 10 minutes time. And when you go further down, you've got Nada Shiba Gardens and Maidan, which takes you to a much closer proximity to Business Bay downtown. And this is a very established location. You've got your Maidan race course over here, which is a location where the HNIs and UHNIs do hang out at. So it's got great connectivity already, and great connectivity is coming up soon. Now, when understanding an off-plan investment, it's really important to understand where the ready market for a similar property sits, so you know that you have a baseline of appreciation. You're not speculating, or you're not depending on the developer for the community to be delivered very good or better than the normal or the standard. You already know that the market is already sitting at that price, so this price can reach over there. Now, in terms of that, we don't really have a comparison. We don't really have a comparison with Ghaf Woods. A direct comparison is not there with the kind of community facilities we have over there, but we can compare to a community called Al Barari, which has a lot of villas. Villas over there are transacting between 4,000 to 5,000 dirhams per square foot. That is touching even the Palm Jumeirah prices for the right villas. And when we look at the apartments over there, they do not have as good of an amenities access, but still, let's be conservative and compare how the apartment prices are going over there. So one thing about Dubai is that everything over here, if you're an international investor, everything in Dubai is very transparent. You can not just see the listings and how much people are trying to sell for, but you can actually see the actual transactions that has happened in the market. Now again, Al Barari does not, when you even go to find a listing for it, it does not have the kind of forest access for the apartments or the views, but it is to somewhat extent comparable. Now when we look at the price per square foot that is currently trading at around 2,500, 2,400 dirhams per square foot, currently we are getting around 1,800 to 1,900, even touching around 2,000 a foot for the most premium unit. It depends upon which unit that you're looking for, but as seen in Al Barari transactions, as you can look at the market, going for a larger size or a better open view of the forest and the amenities is worth it. And when we look at these prices alone, again, a one bedroom in Ghaf Woods, sizes differ upon the clusters. There's everything for everyone over there. But in Capria, for example, which is one of my most favorite clusters, you're getting around 850 to 900 square foot. As this is one of the transactions over there, 2558, you can find more transactions for 2,600, 2,700, but let's be conservative, and at 850 square foot, we take 2,550 AED per square foot. That gives us a price of around 2.1 million plus. And you're buying in Ghaf Woods for approximately 1.5 to 1.6 million dirhams. 0.5 to 1.6 million dirhams. So you have the space for the property value to grow all the way till 2.1 million, and you having a 60-40 payment plan, meaning only paying 60%, that's around 900,000 to a million, and then you have a premium on top of around 600,000 dirhams. But it is a large community. I would expect it to at least have all of the amenities for it to reach around this price, but I believe it can reach more than this because of the plan that Majid Al Futtaim has and what it has delivered in Tilal Ghaf, and people have loved it. It has seen good appreciation. But this is something that tells you that your investment is very safe. You know, people say there's going to be a correction or so, which I don't really think so is going to be the case. There may be some areas which are oversupplied like JVC or other locations, but areas like this, Al Barari, Dubai Hills, which are proper master communities and are increasing in rentals, in prices every quarter or every year time. Something like this is scarce in the market. The market lacks communities. Enough communities are not being built. They take millions and millions, if not billions, for the developers to make such communities. And now, if you look at the two bedrooms, which I believe are a better choice if you can extend your budget. So when we look at the two bedrooms have went all the way from 1.6 to 3.4 million. That's around 120% in capital gains, slightly more than the one bedrooms. Look, at the end of the day, the whole community is going to perform. But from an investment point of view, every that 5, 10, 20%, everything matters, right? You're there to make the most amount of money. So that's something that we have to look at. And as you can see, you've got a better capital gain over here, and two bedrooms have a longer way to go because communities, we have families moving in. They care about the layouts, they care about the view, they care how accessible the amenities are, where the kids can go and play around at. So two beds have appreciated more, they make more sense. If you have a specific budget or if you have a specific typology that you'd like to go for, you can contact me at my number provided. People ask me in the description regarding my WhatsApp number. This is my calling and WhatsApp number. Message me, let's have a call, let's understand your investment needs and see even if this makes sense, and if it does, what's the best typology or the unit selection and layouts for you. Now let's take a look at the rental yields. You know, not everybody wants to sell the property for a profit, and such scarce products do see the most fruitful returns if kept for the longer period of time. Now, when we look at the kind of prices that people had bought Al Barari one bedrooms are, those were around 1 million AED, as we saw in the above transaction, and they're renting it out for 130k, for 150k. So as you can see, that's between 13 to 15% achieved at Al Barari for people who entered at the right time, in the right even layouts. You know, 13 to 15%. The best choice gave them 15%. The other ones who were not that specific or meticulous, investment, you actually have to be that meticulous and understand what's going to perform the best. Those are still sitting at a 13% rate. Current market of Dubai, new areas or underdeveloped, any specific area, you're getting generally around 7 or maybe even 8%, not more than that. And over here, you've got between 13 to 15%. Now, even if we take these rental yields, 150,000 dirhams, for example, and assuming that we don't have any, meaning the market stays stagnant, the demand for communities don't rise, which is rising on a quarterly basis. We're not taking into account the infrastructure, the new roads coming up, we're not taking into account the lack of supply for such communities, or even the kind of community lifestyle that Majid Al Futtaim has provided in Tilal Ghaf and what we're expecting over here. We be very conservative. You can rent your apartment between 140 to 150k at least, which turns out to be at least 9%. Plus you have a payment plan, and with that you are going to have capital appreciation. When we be more realistic, you can easily obtain double-digit mark over here. And now let's look at something which I think is a better buy if you have the money for it. These, again, one bedrooms usually tend out to be slightly more liquid under construction, but if you have the longer term vision and you can hold the property for long, 2 bedrooms are worth going for. When we look at the prices that people had bought 2 bedrooms, it was ranging all the way from 1.6 to like 2 million-ish for the best floor plans and everything. And as you can see, let's take an average of 1.8 million. People in the case of 2 bedrooms are even making more than 15%. 15% plus is being achieved by those early investors. In an offline investment, we look at the ready prices and we see the growth of that community or those apartments over time. And we can see many green flags for the community of Ghaf Woods. And it is the largest business family in the UAE. So you know they're going to perform very, very well. Again, these were some rough calculations. I didn't go too much in details. I am a person who works at numbers, who loves numbers, and I do go into details, but I don't want to overwhelm you guys with a lot of information. If there's anything specific that you're interested in to this project or just overall investments in Dubai, you can contact me. We are #1 brokers for Emaar, diamond brokers for Nakheel and Miraz. We book millions, if not hundreds of millions with these developers, and we have a very good relationship with them to get you the right units, and we do not charge you any commission at all. So it's a free consultation and honest advice that you're getting from me, all based on numbers, not hype or not speculation. Contact me now to secure the right investments and the right knowledge in Dubai's real estate market. This is Aliyah signing off.